In the context of generative AI, transformation is where we will unlock and build entirely new categories of entertainment and social ecosystems yet unimagined.
Well, that just wouldn't be possible without AI. It just wouldn't be.
AI in its different forms has always been central to this creative journey, and it has evolved into today's innovations in generative AI. This remarkable technology is not merely a buzzword for us, it's the very core of our business.
AI supercharges our existing business. It supercharges our creators.
If there was ever any doubt that EA CEO Andrew Wilson is a cyborg on a mission to destroy humanity, we now have solid confirmation of that. A few days ago, EA announced that they have entered into a partnership with Stability AI to reimagine game development. Stability AI is most famous for its text-to-image model called Stable Diffusion. This company has had a lot of controversy over the years, especially when it comes to the type of content users have been able to generate, including like explicit material involving children and stuff, really gross stuff. So if this partnership between EA and Stability AI is any indication of what's to come, the future of video games is about to get really bizarre. But you know what isn't bizarre? Saving money on video games. And thankfully, today's sponsor is here to help. Instant Gaming is the best place to get the newest games at the lowest prices. Here you can find discounts up to 90% off, and they offer 24/7 customer support as well as super fast and easy checkout. And just in time for a spooky season, Instant Gaming has a variety of horror games to choose from, including a selection of Resident Evil titles as well as Alien Isolation, one of my personal favorites. As I always say, please don't use Instant Gaming or sites like it to buy indie games, but otherwise, feel free to use the link in the description to shop away. Thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. According to the press release, this partnership between EA and Stability AI will allow EA to explore new ways to add the value of generative AI to creative workflows, allowing artists and developers to ideate, visualize, and refine gameplay experiences faster and at greater scale. I'm pretty sure that is a lot of PR speak for we're gonna fire a bunch of people and replace them with AI. Apparently things have gotten so bad at EA that employees have started speaking out. Anonymous employees told Business Insider that executives have been urging workers to use AI for literally everything, from coding to creating concept art, and even to discuss things like pay and promotions. But at the end of the day, this partnership isn't all that surprising. EA CEO has been singing the praises of AI for some time, seemingly drooling over the many benefits it could provide for the company.
What if we give our global community of players access to all of the AI tools we use to build games? Well, that just wouldn't be possible without AI. It just wouldn't be. AI supercharges our existing business. It supercharges our creators.
Earlier this year, I made a video where I discussed one of EA's patents, which aims to replace game testers with AI. I double checked and that patent is still waiting approval by the US Patent Office, but it was originally filed in 2023, which goes to show that EA has been investing in generative AI and eyeing the robot takeover for a while. Just last year on Investor Day, EA execs did this huge presentation where they showed off an AI-driven text-to-game concept.
Let me show you a concept video that stitches together some of our more exciting experiments in service of imagination to creation.
Hey, what if we made a game out of cardboard boxes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Make a maze of cardboard boxes.
How's that?
What if we make it multi-level? Whoa, let's give that one a go.
That's cool.
What you saw was an illustration of two friends jumping into an open sandbox and then creating a new world made of boxes in real time without any coding expertise and in a matter of seconds.
Wow, I imagine that would be a perfectly smooth and bug-free experience. By the looks of it, EA believes generative AI is the future of gaming. It seems that they envisage a future where there's little to no developers, or designers, or game testers, or writers, or artists at all, and that is an extremely scary thought. The exact things that make video games so special is the people who make them. Behind the development of every video game, there's a team of people. So every storyline contains an undercurrent of humanity. People wrote that story by drawing upon their own life experiences. We as players can feel that when we play video games. The same can be said for the music and the art and the voice acting and more. Even the most hardened of gamers have had emotional experiences playing games like The Last of Us or Mass Effect, Life is Strange, Red Dead Redemption.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
The reason we connect and resonate with games in this way is because of those individuals behind them who created them. Video games have to have that human touch. But this video they showed on Investor Day is the complete opposite. It is cold, it's empty, and it's completely lifeless. This might be the future of video games that corporations want, but it's certainly not one that would benefit players. I know AI is like a very triggering word, in this day and age especially, and I really don't think it's all bad. I'm not saying AI can't be used as a tool to assist developers, but there's a future where video games are increasingly automated and developed with Gen AI at the forefront, and that timeline is not one that I want to live in. A few weeks ago when the EA buyout was announced, we learned that the new owners plan to lean heavily into AI to help cut cost and improve efficiency, according to the Financial Times.
The new owners are betting artificial intelligence will fuel an entertainment boom and yield major corporate cost savings by reducing production expenses for games.
So is this recent deal with Stability AI a result of the buyout, or was this part of the plan all along? I don't really know, but when we consider the vision that EA's new owners have for the company, it's likely that this is just the beginning. In fact, we've already seen in recent weeks some disturbing uses of AI in EA games. You guys have heard of Plants vs. Zombies, right? To be honest, I didn't even know this game was still around, but recently EA remastered one of the games, and with it, there was a lot of controversy. Plants vs. Zombies developer PopCap is a subsidiary of Electronic Arts. The studio was acquired by EA back in 2011 for $750 million. Since then, if you ask anyone who's familiar with Plants vs. Zombies, there has been a noticeable decrease in quality of the games. Since that acquisition, they've really leaned into microtransactions. They've laid off a bunch of staff. And when the new Plants vs. Zombies remaster was announced, the original artist and composer weren't even asked back. How can you make a remaster of a game and not even ask the original people who made it to come back and work on the project? That's pretty messed up. But if that wasn't enough, prior to the game's release, fans immediately started clocking some strange stuff. In an interview, PopCap claimed that no Gen AI was used in the development of the game, but there were these visual abnormalities in some of the promotional images for the game that appeared to be the result of generative AI, or at the very least AI scaling. PopCap denied these claims, saying the images were just early concept art, but the crazy part is the original series artist for Plants vs. Zombies, Rich Werner, then chimed in and said this excuse was, quote, BS. In the end, it appears that AI upscaling was indeed used, which means PopCap relied on an algorithm to touch up certain parts of the game instead of using real people. The reason this was so distressing to fans is that the Plants vs. Zombies series is known for its amazing artist, its incredible level design, and the overall style of the game. That's what has always made the game so special. It's a game that historically has showcased the talent of its artists, so fans felt that using AI to edit that art was disrespectful to the original artist. Still, PopCap doubled down, this time saying they didn't use any AI at all. No generative AI or AI scaling. To many fans, this was a slap in the face. They felt that PopCap and EA were lying directly to their faces. There's even a disclaimer on Plants vs. Zombies' own tweet saying it's misleading because AI upscaling was indeed used. To be honest, I think this whole ordeal is just foreshadowing. We're already seeing so many companies use generative AI in game development. For example, after violating Steam policy by not disclosing its use of AI, Activision admitted earlier this year that it was using generative AI to develop assets in Call of Duty. And just recently, Krafton announced that it's adopting an AI-first approach to game development. Not human first, AI first. What does that even mean?
Y'all kill me with these vague fucking statements.
Yes.
One of the crafting games I've covered a lot on this channel is Inzoi, and that game has already drawn so much ire from players in the life sim genre for its use of generative AI. Not only does that game allow you to use AI to generate designs and textures, a lot of assets like signs in the game and allegedly even some of the music and voices in Inzoi were created using AI.
It's so soulless that almost every logo or graphic in the game is AI generated.
Krafton itself has always been very proud of its investments in AI. They have a whole AI department that likely has its hands in nearly every game they create. So this announcement from Krafton really isn't that surprising. What's more surprising to me is how so many of these companies announce these things so proudly, saying we're going to spend millions on AI so that we can fire a bunch of our employees and make games even shittier is not the win they think it is. This is not something that should be encouraged or embraced. I understand that game development has become exceedingly expensive, but it feels like many of these companies are using Gen AI as an excuse to lay off employees, cut corners, save some money, or make more money for shareholders and executives. And this practice is simply terrible for video games. Kinda unrelated, but I actually want to talk about AI use in the content creator space among video game content creators. I have been seeing so many YouTube channels using AI. It's actually disturbing. And I want to be clear myself, I do not use AI at any point in the creation of any of my videos if it's not already obvious. But every script, thumbnail, and video is edited and created completely by me. And I really think there are very few cases where content creators should be using AI at all. For instance, if you have a medical condition and because of that you have limited mobility or something, that I understand. But in most of these cases, using AI art and thumbnails, using an AI voice, using ChatGPT to write a script, it's simply not a cute look. I'm thankful that right now we can tell usually when AI is being used by a YouTube channel, for instance. But in 3 to 5 years, I don't know if that will be discernible. Will we even be able to tell when AI is being used in video games or by content creators in the next few years? I actually want to give you some examples. I'm not going to show you the channel names, but you'll know them if you come across them yourself. Here's one of them.
Yeah, a couple days ago at this point, K-Jun went on to Discord and he discussed the feedback that he had gotten from the community. I was definitely a little surprised by that. I did not see that coming. I didn't think that's what people wanted from a life sim.
Can you guys tell it's AI? To me, this sounds exactly like an 11 Labs voice. 11 Labs is like one of the most famous text-to-speech programs.
Introducing conversational AI with 11 Labs. Build, test, and deploy, all in one platform for the most natural way to communicate with technology.
What's funny is that you would think this guy's comments would be filled with people saying, "What's with the cringe AI voice?" But there are no comments saying that. So it leads me to wonder, do other people recognize this? When it comes to AI voices, the dead giveaway to me is the volume of the voice. It's completely flat. When an actual person speaks, their voice has highs and lows. Sometimes they're more excited, so they talk louder, and other times they move their head away from the mic a bit, so the volume gets lower. But with these AI voices, the volume is always flat. It's too perfect.
Hey there. Welcome back.
What's scary is that compared to like a year or two ago, they've improved these AI voices so much, and they've started adding in filler words like ums and uhs and like. But there's even more examples like this one.
I'm most hyped for the toddler interactions and cinematic tools. They're game changers for creators like us. But what about you? Which of these updates are you most excited for? Spooky Halloween?
Is it a coincidence that both of these are Inzoi channels? I don't know. There's also this video game I talked about several months ago that used AI voices for its characters.
Are you Christy?
Yeah, duh. I'm totally Christy. Who else would I be, hun?
Show me your boobs.
Excuse you? That's like totally out of line. Show some respect, you creep.
I want you to imagine what this technology will be like in 5 years. Imagine if game companies have marketing departments that are creating YouTube channels, entire AI content creators, and they use those content creators to market their games like propaganda. That's terrifying to me. What if they're doing it now? What if these are Krafton channels? You never know. I'm not saying don't sue me, Krafton, but I'm just saying you don't really know.
That's why we developed a real-time version of none other than the cover star of FC25, Jude Bellingham, or an AI version of him.
All I'm saying is the AI takeover is real, and it's inevitable, and it may even be happening right now. So we have to set boundaries for ourselves. What are we willing to accept as players and consumers and viewers? Because if we don't draw those lines and speak up when we're uncomfortable now, these companies will continue to push the limits, and eventually it'll be way too late to push back at all.
The amount of eggs I have in my internet-enabled fridge might mean my Sims are better off in my game.
I definitely feel like this is how I would sound if I did ayahuasca. That's not a compliment.
Okay, now you're sounding crazy. You wanna go? Heaven can wait. Dipping your toe down to your face. How can I flow? Catching your wave. Why would you leave when you do me this way? Looking so phenomenal. Hit me like a kick to my abdominal. I can't shake